Welcome to my channel. I'm Dee, and today we are going to make Danish pastry. They seem complicated, at least I felt that way, but this is a really simple recipe, and do this, they're really easy, and you can make really impressive looking Danish that you can give to people, and they will be amazed that you made them yourself. So let's get going. So these are the dough ingredients. The first thing you need is 2 1/4 teaspoons of yeast, a teaspoon of sugar. Okay, so these are the ingredients we need for the dough. We need 2 1/4 teaspoons of yeast, 1 teaspoon of white sugar, 1/2 cup of lukewarm water, 4 cups of flour, 1/3 of a cup of sugar, 1/2 teaspoon of salt, 3/4 cups of very cold butter. I put mine in the freezer, 3 eggs, and 1/2 cup of whipping cream. Let's get started. The first thing we have to do is we're going to take our warm water and we're going to put our sugar in it and just let it dissolve for a second. I usually take a spoon or something and just give it a quick stir. And then I will take the yeast and I just sprinkle it over top. And we are going to let that yeast bloom and just set that aside for about 10 minutes. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to take the cream and the eggs and we're just going to whisk these together. So I'm just whisking the eggs and cream together until they're well combined. I'm going to set that aside. And then I'm going to take my flour, my sugar, and my salt and whisk those together. You just want to make sure that's really well combined. Okay, and now we're going to grate our butter. I have all my butter grated, and now I'm just going to put this into the bowl. I'm just going to scrape it off the wax paper here and get that all in. I usually make this in a bigger bowl. I thought I could get away with my smaller one. It's not going to work. I could probably do it, but on camera, it's too iffy. I don't want to make a big mess, so I'm just going to pour this all in. No harm, no foul. There. And now you're just going to take a pastry cutter, 2 knives, whatever you have, and you're just going to incorporate all this butter in. It's not going to be like regular pastry where it's all like pea-size types of like little pea-sized balls. It won't get quite to that, so you're going to want to make sure that it's evenly distributed and just keep going around with your pastry cutter until it all looks consistent. Seems to be all worked in. Doesn't look all that much different, but it is. Okay. Next thing I'm going to do, as you can see, the yeast is nice and foamy. I'm just going to pour this in here. All my bowls today, I'm choosing ones that are really small, but that's okay. And I'm just going to mix this in just a little bit. The yeast is nice and mixed into this, the liquids here. And this is just going to be poured over the dough. I'm going to scrape out my bowl here a little bit, make sure everything gets in there. Probably scrape more than the average person. I'm kind of obsessed with it. This is a dough whisk I use. I absolutely love it. It makes incorporating liquids into dough really easy, better than spoons. It's amazing. I'll put a link to where you can buy one below. If you're interested, check it out. And we're just going to keep doing this until all the dry ingredients are incorporated. And you see how easy this hook makes it? I would be struggling with this with just a wooden spoon. You can use one, and by struggling I mean it's not as easy as this. This just makes it super simple. See, this is all incorporated in, and now all I'm going to do is I'm going to take my hook out, and I am just going to divide this dough into two, and I'm going to wrap it in some plastic wrap. So these don't have to be exactly even, okay? I just separate it into two, and then I roll them up, make sure they're completely covered, and these will go into the fridge for several hours. I will make these at night, the dough at night, and cook them in the morning, which is great if you're having company over. You can do this dough quickly at night and have them fresh in the morning, or you can do them in the morning and serve them later in the afternoon, which is what I'm doing. It's the morning here. So these are just going to pop in the fridge, and you're going to see the difference in them when we take them out. They're going to expand a bit, and this is going to get nice and tight. So we'll see you in a few hours. Had this in the fridge for a few hours, and I'm not sure if you can see it, but there's like little crevices. Those are all air bubbles there. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this out on a well-floured board, and I'm just going to press it down, and then I'm going to flour the top. The dough's a little sticky, so I just make sure everything is well floured, and we're just going to roll it out. Now, I try and roll it out into some sort of square or oblong because we're going to measure it. You're going to need a ruler and a knife, or a pizza knife, something like that. What I'm doing now is just using a ruler and a pizza cutter to just square this off a little bit, and we will reuse that dough. Okay, and then what I do is I just put a mark, every 3 inches. Move it up and do the same thing at the top. And then I'm going to just use my ruler and cut them. I think I could probably get another one in here too. So I'm going to add another row. I'm now going to mark it 3 inches the other way. And cut those, and we'll have 3-inch squares. If they're a little off, it's okay. Now what you're going to do is make a slit in each corner going towards the middle, but you're not going to go, you're not cutting the dough completely through. You're just making cuts in all 4 corners. I'm now going to take a teaspoon of jam. I'm using strawberry, and I'm probably going to use, I don't know, blackberry or something else as well. But you just put this right in the middle. Now here comes the fun part where it starts looking good. You're going to pick up every other point. Okay, so I picked up this one and this one. You're just going to squish them together. And this one and this one. Just going to squish them together, and look at that. You've got a pinwheel. And they're super easy, but they look so fancy, like it was really hard to do, and it's not. I kind of messed this one up. Forgot a corner, and if you do, just take it apart. Just going to fix that up a little bit. And this one. And we're going to move on and do every single one of them. Okay, I've made an egg wash using 1 egg and 1 tablespoon of water, and I beat that up. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take this and cover the outside of all the pastry, and then if you like, you can put some crystallized sugar on them, or you can leave them plain. They're good both ways. And this just gives it a nice, really golden color. These will now go into a preheated 375-degree oven for about 10 minutes. You're looking for a nice golden brown color. So let's get these in. Beware though, some of them will come undone a lot of times. It's okay. You know, they still taste the same, but let's get them in, see how they're doing. They are done. I made some raspberry and strawberry, and on the strawberry ones I put just some cream cheese icing. It's just about a tablespoon of soft cream cheese, about 3 tablespoons of whipping cream, and just some icing sugar until it gets to the consistency you want. Give them a try. Everybody will be so impressed because they look like they were really hard to make, but they're really easy. So please check out our recipes playlist for all of our recipes. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.